it was just marvellous because you were sort of squished.
Somebody said, "No, I think I should try it this way," and he said, "Nope." His classic, "Nope." And he said, "No, I really think it would be better if I did it this way." "Nope." And David said, "Do it that way." And so eventually the guy said, "Can I just try it once?" "All right, try it." So he tried it. And then he did it David's way and said, "Actually, David, I think you're right." And he said, "I know I'm right. And I've got 2 houses and a swimming pool and a Rolls Royce to prove it."
Aware of the commercial possibilities of Allo Allo, David and Jeremy decided to make a theatrical farce out of life at Café René, and Allo Allo began a stage tour in 1986. The show broke box office records all over the country and meant the cast spent even more time in each other's pockets.
It was almost like a permanent full-time relationship.
There was nobody in Allo Allo that I thought, oh no, a scene with, this particular person. No, we were a family.
Goodbye, Hans.
But when Allo Allo returned for Series 4 with the cast still in the POW camp, one member of the family, Sam Kelly, felt he should get out while on top, and Hans made a quick exit.
One down, 249 to go. It was quite emotional, actually. I was quite sad to go. I think at the time I was a bit scared of being typecast. I regret it now, because it went from strength to strength, and I'd like to have stayed and done some more. I sort of regret it. I didn't know what would happen. I had a vague notion that I might suddenly get a hugely high-paid TV commercial, and then I realised, of course, that nobody wants Nazis advertising their products,
Sam appeared with Dennis Waterman in On the Up in 1990. Then the Third Reich beckoned again in 1993, offering Sam the top job, Hitler himself, in David Nobb's Stalagluft, co-starring stiff upper lip Stephen Fry.
Dankeschön, mein Führer.
Sie sind ein guter Mann. Rommel auch. Göring möglicherweise. Himmler ebenso. Der Rest ist nicht zu gebrauchen. Mich haben absolute Nulpen im Stich gelassen.
Away from the bunker and back at the comedy cafe, David Croft and Jeremy Lloyd must have had visions of Allo Allo lasting for 1,000 years. Their basic formula of silliness, suspenders and sausages became a runaway success. 13 million viewers couldn't get enough.
I am wicking in a ginger fashion because my policeman's pints are full of dynamite.
The show's popularity was quite awesome, both here and abroad.
Half the households in England were watching it. And as my mother used to say, everybody from the Duchess to the gardener's daughter. It went right across class, it went right across race. It played in something like 70 countries. It was translated into untold languages.
Why it became big in somewhere like Botswana, I don't know. I've no answer to that.
I mean, I've seen myself dubbed in Chinese, which was very funny, really.
It just worked.
It even worked in France, which meant Crabtree's mangled English in a French accent became mangled French in an English accent, or is it the other way round?
Au revoir à tous.
Quand on arrive, on ne dit pas au revoir, mais bonjour.
And I remember that David and Jeremy said they'd taken it to some festival when they first started doing it, and the Germans went to see it, and they laughed their socks off.
That was very amusing.
They think it is very funny, but we'll never show it.
That was not so amusing.
By 1990, Allo Allo seemed unstoppable, but then disaster struck.
The 6 o'clock news from the BBC.
Gordon Kay, one of the stars of Allo Allo, is still critically ill in hospital.
Well, he was sitting in the middle of a gale in his car, thinking he'd better not get out because of winds of 70 miles an hour, and a hoarding blew off through his windscreen, and a great big metal bolt went through his head. It was the most dreadful thing in the world.
It was very serious.
He was at death's door for a long, long time.
The night before, Gordon had been sitting in my dressing room, on the sofa in my dressing room, drinking a cup of coffee, laughing and chatting, and then suddenly he was in intensive care, and it was just so shocking.
But Gordon made such a remarkable recovery and was back at work so quickly, even the cast was surprised.
I was back in less than 6 months after the accident, which could be thought to have been too soon. But because I loved the show so much, whether it be stage or television version of it, I was determined to honour my contract.
You know, people would stand and give him, you know, standing ovations as he walked in the room. And he was sort of classed as a miracle man.
If Gordon had not come through that experience, I think that would have been the end of Allo Allo.
Our boobies are not big enough.
They look all right to me.
Even though it was not the end of Allo Allo for Gordon, in 1991 David Croft thought his time had come.
I thought the show had gone on long enough, and I had the luxury of saying enough is enough as far as I was concerned. The audience still wanted, the public still wanted the show, but I think when you've done 50 or 60 episodes, you're on borrowed time, really.
There came a point where gags were starting to appear again in slightly different form.
So I think I bailed out after the best of it, I think.
David resumed his other great partnership, which had produced Dad's Army. He and Jimmy Perry also turned to 70s television in You Rang My Lord, a sitcom version of Upstairs Downstairs. It starred members of Croft's Hi-de-Hi team, who were also put to work on the railway comedy Oh, Dr. Beeching. Jeremy Lloyd's term of duty on Allo Allo continued with new writers for 3 more series, in which the farce carried on until the end of World War II.
You'd like to write 100 shows, and you get to 92 and you think, no, I think I just have to finish it here. So I wrote an end show that I wrote the end so that it couldn't be continued.
So in December 1992, Jeremy brought together René and his old sparring partners for a final encounter.
I see they've erected a statue to you, René. What is this?
With the post-war discovery of the original Von Klump Fallen Madonna, Allo Allo came to a rousing climax. Croft and Lloyd's partnership, however, rolled on, and they produced 2 series of Grace and Favour, a sequel to Are You Being Served? But Allo Allo remains a firm favourite to this day, and not just with the viewers.
Fantastic to be cast in something like that.
Changed my life. It was fab.
I think I'm proud to be part of one of the greatest sitcoms and one of the greatest partnerships that not only British television, but television all over the world has produced.
Very lucky to do what you enjoy doing, that entertains a lot of people.
It was a very privileged position. I had my own empire virtually. I did what I wanted and I was allowed to do it, and I had just about enough money.
René, what are you doing with that stabbing girl?
You stupid woman! Can you not see? I am eloping!
You have been witching Kimedy Connections. Good knit and thanks for pissing by.
Next Monday, that was the week that was.